welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be discussing my first competitive 1500 and how I was able to run 340 on my first attempt. Alright, welcome. So let's get started. In this video I want to discuss what I mentioned earlier as my first competitive 1500. It was a lot of fun, and why say my first competitive one? Well, I technically ran a 1500 as a freshman. That was a lot of fun. That was like my first high school track race ever. Super cool. I've ran a few miles. Those are fun too. But the first thing we'll discuss is I'll talk to you guys a little bit about before the race and going into that. I don't mean like long-term training, I just mean like the day of the race. You know, a lot of people ask that. They're like, Leo, how do you, or Lex, Leo, you know, they talk to us, they say, how do you spend your day before the race? How do you prepare for the race? How do you make sure that you're in the right headspace despite maybe it being a night race? And I think that that's a really important question. Going into this race, it was down in San Juan Capistrano, which is a few hours south of me in Camarillo. So yeah, I had to drive. We drove quite a bit. I drove with my family. I actually decided to drive. I didn't have like my parents or anyone else drive, just because, like, I don't know, I thought it would take my mind off things, and plus driving's plenty fun, especially down through LA. So yeah, I drove all the way down to San Juan Capistrano. It was a few hours. I made a point of telling, because I did this one, I traveled to this race with my family, and I was telling them, I was like, guys, we need to get there early because I want to get there with plenty of time to hang out and I don't want to be sitting in the car for 2.5 hours or 2 hours and then suddenly have to go to a race and warm up and race, right? I wanted to essentially spend my day down in San Juan Capistrano, just take my mind off things and have a good time. So we got down there in the afternoon. It was really fun. It was a good group. We just hung out. We walked around San Juan Capistrano, which is a beautiful town. I'll try to put up some pictures in here so you guys can see. So I made a big point about just having a good time, you know. We stopped at a coffee shop. I think I had a dirty chai. It was pretty good. Oh, and right, we're in San Juan Capistrano, so my dad really wanted to see the mission. We walked around that, and I think that, like, you know, a lot of people would say, like, oh, why are you walking around? What are you doing? You should be resting, laying down the day before the day of your race. And I think that to an extent, yeah, that's true. But I think I really benefit from a little bit of activity. And for me, it's just doing things like that really helps me take my mind off things, and it allows me to get in a really positive headspace where then when I get to the track and I'm getting ready to warm up, I'm just ready to go for it. You know, I haven't been thinking about necessarily the race every second of the day the entire time going into it. I've been just focusing on having a good time, and that makes me really feel ready to go for it. Yeah, and then I was just hanging out and focusing on any sort of pre-race nutrition. I had some Morton. That was really good. It's just like the carb packets that you put in the water and then drink it. Actually, I'll show you guys just because we don't talk about that much. I'm back. All right, yeah, I had one of these. Can we get focus? Put it just in line with my face. It's the best way. I had one of these. It's a Morton Drink Mix 320 CAF 100. It looks super sciencey and stuff, but really it's like carbohydrates and caffeine, and you mix it in with water, and basically you're just able to slowly absorb the nutrients that you need before. And the reason why I really like it is it's just like there's always that feeling going into a race where it's like if you eat too much you feel heavy, if you don't eat enough you feel empty. And I think what this really helps me with is that I can eat to the point where I'm satisfied but maybe be a little bit hungry, and then I just have this and it kind of tops me off and I feel satisfied but I don't feel heavy. I just feel right and I feel ready to go, you know, if that makes any sense. I was super nervous going into the race because it's the first time I've ever raced up against a professional field, right? So that's daunting for anyone, and it being my first time, and I'm still in high school, you know, so it was a little bit nerve-wracking. I know I'm wearing the Stanford shirt. That's next year. Can't get too ahead of myself. Yeah, I was nervous, you know, so I was like not entirely sure what to expect. I almost forgot to check in until the last minute, and then when I did check in, I was like, shoot, where do I even go to start my race? You know, like I wasn't sure like if there was a staging or what the system was. Yeah, and personally for me, I mean, honestly, sometimes when there's a little bit of a confusion going into the race or stuff like that, it kind of helps me take my mind off things. So then when I do get on the start line, I'm just not too stressed. I'm not like thinking, oh, what about this? What about that? I'm just kind of ready to go. And that was definitely the case. The race went off. I knew there was going to be a pacer, but other than that, I didn't know all that much. All I knew was I was in a field that was, you know, had a lot of really competitive athletes. and it was gonna be fast, right? So I was like, okay, the whole plan was just, put yourself in the mix, see how things feel, and then just go for it at the end. Make it a good race, make it a race you're proud of. I'll be honest, one lap in, I was like, man, this pace feels so hot. I was like, I'll be totally honest, like going in like those laps 2 and laps 3, I was like, how am I gonna hold on to this pace? Both those laps, right? The 1500 is a really weird race where you're going so fast and it feels so fast and it feels so difficult, like you're about to lock up, yet if it's the right pace, you're able to hold it, and then when the last lap comes around, you're able to go faster.
People seem to think that there's no going back, but I don't really see how that matters at all. I wanna slash the tires on the car and crawl back to the stars, 'cause I don't wanna miss. I don't wanna miss any moment. Yeah.
I just want to train really hard. I really enjoy training. I want to run some really fast workouts, and I just want to keep pushing myself, because I think that for me, like, the times for me are not so reflective of like, oh, that's a time, that's good, that's this, that's that. Like, it's really, for me, it comes down to thinking that's a time and that reflects the hard work we put in.
I used to ask myself at night if what we did was right, if we're really in control, or just along for the ride. But now I don't mind, yeah.
And probably 300 meters to go, I hear my coach screaming. He's like, Leo, let it rip, let it rip. And he's like, let it go, come on. I just started going. I was like, screw it.
People always said that there's no going back, but I don't really see how that matters at all. I wanna pour the gas out on the road and burn our modern clothes, 'cause I don't wanna miss. I don't wanna miss any moment. Yeah. I don't wanna miss any moment. Never think about it again. Now I think about it all the time. Never think about it again. Now it's always gonna be on my mind. Never think about it again. Now I think about it all the time. Yeah. Never think about it again. Yeah. Now it's always gonna be on my mind.
A second place finish in a professional race as a high school athlete is obviously, that's super cool. Not something I would have expected, but something I'm super thrilled with. And I guess what the next question would be is like, why does this matter and what is this gonna do, right? I think like why it matters is like, it was a little bit of a shock to me. I didn't know that I could do this. It yields a lot of promise for the future, right? I think that with that, I'll probably focus a lot on the 1500 this coming season, or the mile, that distance around there, and I'll try to see where I can take it. I would really like to run something faster. That was, I think, 340 point something, point something. We'll put that text there. But I definitely think I can go faster. I think I can get under 340, and I really want to do that. But
what's going on at the bib?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is it too low?
No. You know what I'm saying.
Oh, I registered too late.
Oh, okay.
I registered on
that largely concludes the actual race portion. However, there is still one more thing that I want to bring up in this video, because I realize I forgot to talk about it in one of the last videos. 1 second. You guys, in I think 2 YouTube videos ago that we posted, the video explaining all of the Team USA gear, some of you guys commented, were asking what items did I trade and what did I receive for the gear that I traded. And I think that's a really interesting question. I mentioned it in the video, but then forgot to talk about it and show you the items. So I'll do that now. So I traded away 3 things. I traded away a blue USA like training tank that had a big flag on it. I traded away a red USA training long sleeve that had just a little flag patch on it, and I traded away oh, the blue one was a T. I traded away a red USA training tank that had a little flag on it. So I traded away 3 of those things. I kept 2 t-shirts, but I traded away 3 of them, and I'm super happy with it. The first one I did, I don't know which one I traded, but I traded it for, let's see, I traded it for an Australia running shirt from this really cool guy, Joel, who Lex was actually hanging out with on the trip, which is pretty sick. So yeah, it's a really nice t-shirt. It is probably like, Puma really did a great job with this one. It's probably like one of the most comfortable training tees I've run in. So I traded for that, and I'm really enjoying it, because for me it's just like a shirt that says I really wanted to trade with things that I thought I would really want to wear, you know? And the Australia shirt totally just reminds me of the trip, and I'm thrilled to wear it every time I do. I actually worked out in it today, and it was fantastic, but now it smells terrible. So let's get this out of the shot. The next thing that I traded was, I traded another one of the USA gear items for a really cool Saipan tee, which is a small island in I believe the North Marina Islands, which is really cool. I traded it with this. I traded a USA item with this guy, Dre. It was super cool to meet him and understand like you know, like all the different backgrounds of different people that come to the race, because it's such a diverse crowd, which is super cool, because you get people from Singapore, you get people from Saipan, people from Australia, people from New Zealand, Britain, France, literally everywhere, which is so cool to see. So yeah, a cool piece of a culture I've never experienced but would love to. The last thing I traded was another USA shirt for a New Zealand running tee, which is awesome. It's the exact same t-shirt as the Australia one, but it's black and it's the whole New Zealand team design. I traded with this guy Elliot. Super cool to meet him and talk to the whole team in general. And yeah, the tee's awesome. It just reminds me of like getting to meet the whole New Zealand team. It's an awesome group of people. Well, that's about it. I hope that this was a pretty comprehensive discussion on the race. I know it's totally different from our typical race vlog, but I thought that it would be interesting. I know it's difficult to get a post-race interview in the dark and stuff after a race, so hopefully this does a better job. But it also that combined with race footage and real personal analysis from the athlete in it. So I hope it gave some cool insight. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I guess the only thing left to say is we have a lot of content coming in the future. Right now we've got more videos to make than we have like weekends to upload, pretty much. So we're like, at least if we can keep up, we should have like new videos every single weekend for like the next month or so, which is fantastic. I'm sure plenty of you guys are thrilled for that. Also, we're gonna be doing a new Run Fast drop pretty soon. One of the coolest things that I think is gonna be in it is we got the L&L beanie, right? I'll put it on for the last. I actually really like this beanie. I don't really wear beanies that often, but we ordered this one. We ordered a sample, tried it out, and I thought it works. I just thought it worked really well. It's really comfortable, and it's nice on kind of like a more brisk day. But yeah, we're gonna be dropping this and probably a few other items, but yeah, definitely stay tuned. Oh yeah, we also have a few Pride items coming along, and a few redesigns of some t-shirts. So it's gonna be a pretty major drop. So definitely, I guess I could call it a drop, really. I mean, it's not like we're gonna go out of stock. Like, we'll just sell more for you guys. So if you want it, you can get it. But yeah, definitely stay tuned. That's gonna be exciting. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for all the fun videos we've got coming.